All right, good morning. Let's get going. All right, so we'll start. Let's start in a seat, and we'll be here for a minute or two. Just let everybody jump in, join us. So, if you want to grab a pillow or a blanket to prop your hips up on, it might be a little bit more comfortable for you, so you can help kind of soften, relax those knees down a little bit more. Close down those eyes. Let's take that big shoulder roll. So, bringing the shoulders forward first, and bring them, squeeze them up by the ears, and then just soften them down and back. If you need to do another one of those, if it was a little bit crunchy, you can let those shoulders not so much relax, but soften down. Just gently pulling those shoulder blades together so that chest is lifted. We're sitting nice and tall, lifting up through the neck, through the crown of the head. Core is engaged to keep us nice and steady. And just breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to keep that nice tall spine, but we don't want to feel like we're super, super rigid in this position. Just noticing that breath. Maybe you notice it as it enters or exits the nose. Maybe you notice that rise and fall of the chest. Just letting that breath be natural. And just take a moment to notice if we're using that full capacity of the lungs, or if we're breathing right up into this collarbone. Sometimes if we're a little bit stressed, we breathe into that highest part of the lungs. We don't use that full lung capacity. So thinking about pulling in that breath to the lower part of the lungs. Big expansion through that rib cage. Just exhaling that breath out. It's nice and slow. Get that full, complete inhale. And exhale it out. Nice full breath, just to kind of help to calm the mind and the body. You might not be super stressed right now, but it's kind of a good technique that if you feel during the day you're getting a little bit stressed, you're getting that shallow breath, just working on that full, complete inhale, slow exhale, that body soften, that mind relax a little. Couple more times. Blink open those eyes if you like. We're just going to do those neck rolls. So bringing that neck to the ear, left ear to the left shoulder. Feel that stretch to the side of the right side of the neck. And we'll sweep that chin to the chest. Pause it there. And then we'll go over to that other side. And bring that chin back to the chest. Sweep it over to that left side. You want to start to look up a little bit too, if that feels good, you can. And then bring it down, over to the other side. You want to make that full circle. If that feels okay on your neck, you can. If that doesn't feel too great, just stick with the half circles. And feel free to hold one side a little bit longer if that's what you feel like you need. Good, and bring that head back to center. So from here, we are going to do some neck extension. So roll those shoulders down and back. Think like we're trying to pull our chin back or pull our ears back. Okay, almost like you're trying to give yourself a double chin. That's what I'm trying to say. And now from here, it doesn't have to be super dramatic. You're just kind of pulling the head back, and then just lift that head up just as far as it's allowing. Bring it back down. Lift it up. Bring it back down. One more time. Just lift that head up. And bring it back down. Let's do a few more shoulder rolls. Let's just go backwards with it. And now we're gonna lace those fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. If this is a little aggressive this morning, fingertips point back, thumbs pointing forward, pushing that chest forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together. So with this option, our fingers interlace. No right or wrong way, just whatever you're feeling this morning. From here, keep the fingers interlaced. Just bring the hands over to that right hip. Really think about pulling that left shoulder kind of down and back with the hands over to the opposite side. Kind of helps with that, but just being aware of that shoulder. And then we can drop that ear down. So the hands are on the right side, we're dropping that right ear towards that right shoulder. Maybe a little bit of movement, so really small controlled movements. So you can gaze towards that right knee. Look forward, down, forward, moving nice and slow. Maybe 2 or 3 more on your own. And then look forward, then lift the head up, go to the other side. And so pulling that shoulder down and back. And then we'll drop that ear down towards the left shoulder. And finding those small movements. And then we'll look forward and then lift the head up. Go and grab on the front part of the knees, rounding that spine, tucking that chin, pulling those shoulder blades away from each other. We're doing a lot of work on that, the neck, and the upper back. And then inhale, we'll bring it forward and up. So lift through that chest, draw those shoulders down and back, cover that chest. So now we'll get to those hips a little bit as well. Around that spine, roll it on back. Inhale, bring it forward and up. Exhale, round it back. Last one. Inhale, bring it forward. Up, flatten out that back, grounding through those hip bones, and then walk those hands forward, just hovering over those shins. Keep that nice tall spine. Maybe we can walk those hands a little bit further. Don't force it. And then we'll come back up, reaching those arms up nice and tall, twist it over to that right side. Really tall thought spine, and then twist, look over that shoulder. Bring it back to center, reach those arms up. Twist it over to the other side. Length on the inhale, exhale, twist. Bring it back to center. Let's go ahead and switch that cross of the legs and grab onto those knees, roll it on back. Then inhale, bring it forward and up, flatten out that back. Start to stretch out through those hips. Round that spine, roll it back. So now we'll feel the stretch through the upper back, between those shoulder blades. Inhale, bring it forward and up. Exhale, round it back. Last one. Inhale, forward and up. Lengthen that spine. Walk those hands forward, so flatten out that back. Hinging from the hips as we fold. Another breath. Walk those hands back. Let's just go ahead and come onto hands and knees. Tabletop position. Spread those fingers out. Pressing into the palms. Good foundation with the hands. So gripping with the fingertips, pressing into the palms and knuckles of that pointer finger especially. Now pull those shoulders down and back. Okay, so we don't want to be crunched forward here. If you can tell, we want that nice long neck. We're going to drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. So those shoulders are pulling away as we lengthen. Core is slightly engaged. And then exhale, we're going to round that spine, really draw that belly up and then press the shoulder blades away, looking towards those legs. Then inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then we'll bring it to neutral spine, keeping those hips high. We're going to slide those hands forward. Spread those fingers out. Really press into the palms. Pull those forearms towards each other as we soften that forehead down towards the mat. Now, if those shoulders are feeling especially tight this morning, and when we stabilize, so when we press our palms down, pull the forearms towards each other. If the head is not making it towards the ground, that's okay. Just hover it there. Only a few more breaths. We just want to feel that big stretch to the shoulders, the upper back. Lower those forearms down. Let's lower that core a little bit. Shift it forward to a plank. So forearm planking can be on your knees or on your toes, whatever you're feeling. Really strong through the legs, through that core. Chest is pulling forward, but when we pull that chest forward, don't drop through the hips. Keeping those hips nice and in line with those shoulders. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Soften those hips down. Point those toes. Draw those shoulders down and back as we lengthen out through the crown of the head. And then we'll soften it down. Hands come right underneath the shoulders. Legs are going to stay together. We're going to press it back into a child's pose, but I want those knees touching, those shins touching. We're getting as close to each other as you can get them. Okay, sliding those elbows back. Again, forearms are pretty close, if not touching. And then the elbows are, again, pretty close, if not touching those knees. Okay, we're going to reach that right arm out. Turn that thumb down. Hand is going to come to the tailbone. Take the big breath in. Exhale. We're going to look first, and then we're going to, a little tight. We're going to open up and twist over that shoulder. Hold it for a breath. Then inhale, we'll bring it back down. Exhale, open it up. Inhale it back down. Last time, open up. Hold, breathe. And inhale it down. Let's switch sides. Bringing that left hand out, thumb turns down. So the knuckle side of the hand is on the tailbone. Take the big breath in. Exhale, look first, and then open up, twist. Inhale it down. Exhale, twist, open up. Inhale it down. Last time, open up, twist. Hold it here for a couple breaths. And inhale it back down. And slide those hands forward. Come back to that tabletop. A round or two of cat-cow. And then come back to the hands and knees still. Step it back to a plank. Hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Just take a moment, pedal those feet out. A little sway through those hips. So really press that tailbone up. Press those heels down. And we'll come onto the toes. Bend those knees, look forward, stepping those feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, find that half lift. Exhale, slide the hands down as we fold. Just let that head hang nice and heavy. And bend into those knees, flatten out that back. We're gonna rise all the way up to standing, reach it up nice and tall. It's gonna be a little side stretch over to that right side. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale over to the left side. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, flat back as we fold. Inhale that half lift. And exhale, plant those hands, stepping those feet back to our plank. When you need to, lower those knees down as we lower all the way onto our stomach. Point those toes. Roll the shoulders down and back, lifting just the chest up into that baby cobra. Just on this first one. Lower down. Press, lift. Maybe go a little bit higher. And down. And then press, lift. Maybe we go all the way up to that upward facing dog. Looking towards lifting those hips, those thighs up off of the mat. And then exhaling those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Hold it here for another breath. One more time. Inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet top of the mat. Half lift on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, a little more bend into those knees, rise up to standing, reach up tall. Let's give that side stretch over to the right. Inhale it back up, over to the left. Inhale, reach it up, and exhale, fold. Flat back on that inhale, and exhale, plant those hands. Step those feet back to a plank. Lower down. Inhale, lifting your choice, cobra or upward facing dog. We're just gonna do one of them. And then exhaling those hips up and back, down dog. Let's come into our pigeons. We're gonna bring our right knee towards that right wrist. Foot comes across. We'll slide that left leg back. Okay, lower that forearm down. So forearm is gonna be parallel to that shin. Okay, so again, staying active through those hips. So we're gonna press the left or the right shin down and pull back. Left knee is pulling forward. Okay, so keep that positioning with those hips as we reach that right arm out. Thumb down, hand to the tailbone, or you can even come to the opposite hip. Take that big breath in. Exhale, twist, look over that shoulder. Inhale it back down. Exhale, twist, open up. Inhale it down. Last time, twist, open up. And inhale it down. We're pausing it here for a breath or two or three. In child's pose. Child's pose. This is pigeon. Whew. Still asleep apparently. And then come back onto those hands. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to send that leg back, downward facing dog. And we'll step that left knee towards the left wrist. Foot comes across. Right leg slides back. Okay, really stabilizing through those hips. So again, right elbow lowers down. Left knee is pulling, left knee and shin is pulling back. Right knee is pulling forward. Left arm reaches out. Flip the palm, hand on the hip or the opposite tailbone. So that shoulder is opening up. So take the big breath in, look first, and then exhale, twist. Hold it here, really find that rotation. If you press into that right forearm, you get a little more leverage to twist. Then bring it back down. Exhale, twist, open up. Inhale it back down. Last time, open up, twist. Inhale it back down. Release. And then we'll rest the head down. And then come back up onto those hands. Send it back, downward facing dog. And a couple more breaths. Pressing the hips up, pressing the heels down. Let's lower onto those knees into a seat. We're gonna go into that butterfly stretch. So 5 of the feet will come together. Those knees will open up wide. Sitting really, really tall. I feel like you're hinging, you're rolling over those sit bones instead of just rounding. So we wanna be hinging from the hips as we pull that chest a little closer to those feet. Big stretch through those inner thighs. Keep breathing. Go ahead, rise back up. Bring those knees together. Extend those legs out. Sit tall, and we'll walk those hands forward, grabbing onto the ankles or the calves. Maybe you can reach for those big toes. A lot of length through the spine. You can bend those knees as much as you need to as we pull that. Think about pulling the lowest part of the belly to the highest part of the thighs, and then fold from there. And we'll bring it back up. Hug that right knee to the chest. Right hand comes behind the back. So you can hug that knee and sit tall, or you can hook that elbow across as we twist. And then bring it back to center. Let's just switch sides. Left knee hugs in. Left hand plants to find that length through the spine. And then just twist. Bring it back to center. We'll crossing those legs, hands on the knees. Just take one big breath in through the nose. You can pull those shoulders up by the ears. Then exhale, open the mouth, side out, relax those shoulders down and back. One more time. Same thing. Pull those shoulders up. Big breath in. Exhale, soften the shoulders down. Side out. And blinking those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great day. I think there's boot camp tonight at 4:30 if you guys are interested in that. But otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow noon for recharge. All right, have a good one.